All I'm thinking about is a hot bath and 12 hours of sleep.
Sounds nice.
Are you okay?
I thought I could broach this in a more delicate way, but after the day we had, I think it's better just to come out and say it. Is there something going on with you and Dr. Ashton?
Are you accusing me of cheating?
I'm not accusing you of anything. But after seeing the way you two act together and finding his things in your car, I just want to know the truth.
First of all, you have to believe me when I say that nothing has happened between us.
Second of all,
I do feel something for him. I wasn't looking for it. In our whole marriage, I've never even thought about anyone else. But this past year, the world has opened up for me. I finished school. I got this job.
you met another man.
It is not that simple. Am I attracted to him? Yes. But that doesn't mean that I was planning on acting on it.
Doesn't mean you weren't. Otherwise, you would have said that.
Wait, please. I'm trying to be honest, and I'm making a mess of it because I don't really know how I feel. If you hadn't confronted me about Oliver, there's a good chance I would have worked through all of this without you ever knowing.
I do know. It's breaking my heart. It's just... So what you need to tell me is that whatever it is you feel for this man, it's over as of now. And your hesitation gives me my answer. Here, take this.
Wait.
I need to take a walk.
And then what?
I don't know.
All right, so Mafuchi, I'll go ahead and give you a little backstory of how we got here. So he was I forgot his title, but in LAPD, but he was always busy and she was available because she wasn't working. So she was a stay-at-home wife. So when he decided to take a lesser role where he could spend more time with his wife, she got another job and she got done with school and got a job at the hospital. So now the roles are reversed where she's always busy and he has more free time. And they're supposed to be like at least have a monthly date night or something like that, right? So now, and if you saw this episode, it's in the very beginning. I'm like, something's off here. Like, why is she keying with this dude so much, right? So I felt a certain type of way watching that scene, and I was like, why do I feel that way? So I said, let me ask my wife to take a look at this with me, just to get her therapist hat on, right? So I can see what she'll say. My wife was like, so have they even talked about this particular issue? Like, where's the disconnect? That was my thought. Like, where's the disconnect where they're not checking in with each other? So now this is where the double standard comes in, because if this was a man having a woman's stuff in his car, this would be a totally different thing. So when she was like, you have to believe me, nothing had happened between us. I'm like, does he really have to believe you? Because one, you're hiding it, and two, it was in your car. Not that he left it in there, and then because the way the husband found out about that stuff is the guy in her who she's working with. He found it and he was like, he told the guy, oh, I found this in the bathroom. Oh, I've been looking for those. So that told him right there, like his wife is lying to him about having this man in her car. And then it's like, when she said nothing has happened between us, so I'm like, to myself, I'm thinking, are you saying that something could happen down the line? Because nothing has happened between you. So I'm like, that's just me always think about the worst case scenario. And then she was like, I wasn't planning on acting on it. Really? Her body language was like, if you're around someone as much as she is around this guy and she's saying that, I find him attractive, you're saying you don't think you're gonna act on it. What if he acted on it? Would you pull away or would you give into it? It's just questions I have. And when she said, I don't know how I feel, that's a lie. That's a lie. You want that man. Let's just be honest about that. You want that man. And then when she was like, if you wouldn't have found out, I was going to work on it without you even ever knowing. Excuse me? If it wasn't that big a deal. I think the husband is right. And I know everyone who seen When I Get Married, they think of this man as Mike and Mike only and the bad guy. And they don't separate him from being an actor. So, and that video is our most highly rated video too. When I Get Married, that table scene. If the roles were reversed, how much crap would the man be getting compared to how his wife is in this moment? So I'm like, if you are working with someone, you guys have this key relationship, right? And you know, most likely both of you are feeling something. You need to step back, or I don't want to say necessarily quit your job, because you can actually, in her position that she is, the guy she's attracted to is a doctor. So she can easily not be around this doctor or have minimum contact. So I looked at that scene, I was like, they're not communicating properly. There's no check-ins, because if there were check-ins, I never ever even looked at another guy or thought of another guy until now. Why is that? Communication's not there. Check-ins are not there. And I'm like, if your husband was doing this, I don't think she'll be as calm and collected, because she'll probably be accusing him of doing something because he's a man. Because he's a woman, and she's like, nothing has happened, and you have to believe me. If a man said that, everybody look at him sideways, and you have to believe me, and most people would not. So that is a key thing where you gotta have communication and effective communication with your partner. That's why you have check-ins. If you have check-ins, this part would not be happening.
All right, well, Jay touched upon something that is completely true. If the roles were reversed, look, a woman could see a pen in the man's car that she's never seen before, and she's going to start asking questions. It's going to be all this third-degree questioning. It's going to be the Spanish Inquisition. You're going to be under a light. And that's not going to go well at all, okay? Women are less forgiving than men, because what did he do? He was asking questions. He was being calm about it. He needed to figure this out. And yes, she went about it all wrong. Now, I like that they both were talking about it calm and rationally, so kudos to them. Nobody exploded, all right? It's just question and answers. But the answers were not adding up, right? Like, a lot of people say that, well, mostly women always tell men, omission still counts as lying. Well, what was she doing? She was omitting the fact that she had feelings for somebody else. That's lying, right, ladies? Don't deny it, okay? Just because it's one of yours now, that is omitting. All right? Put it in the comment section. You know that's lying. Don't change the rules just because you got caught. It's just, that kind of reminded me, I've said this before on the channel, where I had a situation with my wife where I looked at a photo of one of her coworkers that she was working with that I was attracted to, but it was only a photo. Now, this is back when phones were still in their infancy with smartphones, and that photo somehow ended up on my phone. Now, I'm not stupid enough to do that on my own, okay? This photo was on their social media, and that's the only time that I saw it, so no idea how it got on my phone. But my wife found it, and it was just a complete questioning and just hurt feelings, all right? But we got through it. But ultimately, what was the reaction? She went ahead and talked to a friend, started flirting and whatnot. So this is how things can lead, okay? Mine was a little extreme of how the reaction was, but nonetheless, this is what happens when you have an attraction, not just a random person, someone that's in your environment that you are aware of, all right? So kudos to the guy for bringing it up, because that was not going to be an easy conversation at all. But I understand needing to know what's going on, and her hesitation when he was asking, what's going to happen? I forgot what the question was, but she hesitated, and yeah, what do we say? Hesitation speaks volumes, and that was it. That's all he needed to know. And I'm just glad that she knew that she was not answering well, except I don't believe her. I think she was answering truthfully, but it wasn't enough to kind of get away with it, to put herself in not such a bad light. That's how I take it. I don't know if Jay agrees, but look, when the roles are reversed, what is it? It's usually said that men are mostly wrong, but when women are wrong, they won't cop to it. They'll try to figure out a way to where it's not as bad. No, ladies, the rules don't change for you, okay? We'd have more respect for you, just like you would for us, I guess, if you actually told us the bold, honest, ugly truth. You're into this guy, and It's like you said, you would have worked this out if you would have never known. The issue would have always been that you kept this away from him. You never told him. And if, quite frankly, this is a couple that they brought up, have not had any check-ins. They're not talking. They're not communicating. Ineffective communicating. They're not hanging around together. Now, I understand with jobs, if that takes you away from your partner, hey, I'm away for 5 days out of the week, so I get it. But there are ways to figure it out if you truly love your partner, okay? So, ladies, rules still apply to you. If you get caught, hey, just tell us the truth, because that's what you want from us. And men are a little more forgiving. You ladies kind of have to work on that.